Bailiff, bring soap, a sponge, and a washboard at once.
That was highly specific. Wait, what?
I like SpongeBob, alright? Wow, how much
Dang.
powder are you putting on your face? You're pale as a ghost, man.
I was gonna say, he's so pale.
Without wishing to sound self-conceited, they regard me with some pride.
They probably shouldn't.
I'm gonna suck you!
Hello, everybody. KBTV Under the Sun. We're here about... Well, no, this isn't the end, funny enough. There is still more of this case. We're nearing the end of the trial, in a sense, but Mr. Vigil's not feeling too great at the moment, because we're trying to get him to unravel a certain memory that he seems to have forgotten.
According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on June 17th, 10 years ago. And on that day, something very serious took place at Barclay Prison.
The 17th of June.
Was that... the professor's execution?
Professor...
As you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would have been present throughout the proceedings.
It does sound familiar.
And yet, that execution never took place. The convict, ostensibly executed earlier that day, later re-emerged from his grave.
The convict came back to life.
In the cemetery in the middle of the night, there was a witness.
However, the witness claims that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave, a gunshot rang out from over his shoulder, and the bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly.
Back in the grave with you, sir. No zombies allowed. We're not that kind of game.
Alright, time to get that Luffy gif of him just seeing the zombie and just going, there, no, you go back in there.
I'm glad we were thinking of the same thing.
I mean, this is a Capcom game. You could have zombies, you know, you never know.
You could have even ghosts and goblins.
Enoch Drebber just like, no, back in with you. This is not where you belong. The zombie games are going to be in the mid-2000s. You gotta go.
Those may have been the professor's actual last moments. Yes.
Seeing as you were in charge of overseeing executions at the time, you must know the truth about what really happened. It's in your head, somewhere deep down. Well, Chief Warder Daily Vigil, I know there are memories in your head that can explain what happened on June... I keep trying to say 17th June, but it just never comes out naturally. On June 17th, 10 years ago.
I think it's a British thing.
Yeah. I mean, I could put a "the" in there.
English is such a beautiful language. And now it's time for you to drag them up.
Mr. Vigil?
My word, he's about to morb.
Yes, the whole prison. Morbid time. It was complete chaos. The prisoner escaped. He was killed in the cemetery. shocking news ripped through Barclay like a hurricane.
What?
Order? 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 Do you mean to say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories of the time have returned? My head, it's like some floodgates have been opened. The images, the screams. Oh, my goodness.
What did this man hold back? The purge?
No, he held back.
The papers.
Oh God.
Not
That's
the
worse.
papers.
Not bureaucracy!
There were reports, articles about a man who'd seen a ghost.
Yeah, Enoch Drebber.
But surely those reports were exaggerated. There were traces at the scene. Traces of what?
Gonna do this nice cinematic camera pan right now.
Uh-huh.
In Middlegate Cemetery, at plot number 139. Blood. Lots of blood. That's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there. The depths of conspiracy and depravity from which this tale is emerging are quite staggering.
I've reviewed the police records from that time extensively. A thorough investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. And the conclusion reached by the investigating team was that a member of the prison staff must have been involved.
Are you suggesting that the prison warder abetted the man's bid for freedom? Yes, and I was suspected of doing it. Of using that mass murderer's execution as a way to help him escape.
You did what?
No, he didn't do it. He was accused of it. Like, dang, Rinosuke.
I remember now. The horror of it all is coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the execution, some detectives came to the prison. I was called to the governor's office at the top of the watchtower.
You know, if he spins any faster, he's gonna, achieve lift.
Yeah, look, I'm getting dizzy just looking at him.
I don't even remember. I do not remember who voices him.
That's final.
I'm sorry, Daly. This is a serious business, but I cannot help you know.
Mr. Scottish.
As Chief Warder, you were responsible for overseeing the execution of 4, Well, it seems the fellas at Scotland Yard want to have a few wee words with you about it. You'd better pack your things, laddie. You're to attend in person.
As soon as he told me that, my mind just went completely blank. And the next thing I knew,
I'm getting dizzy!
the professor.
Oh, wait. Actually, who's saying that?
I think that's still you.
Okay.
And I let him escape. I'd finish my life. It's over.
Psyche-Lock broken.
And that is what it looks like when Yugi uses Mind Crush.
Order! Order! Bailiff, fetch a doctor at once!
I believe he's dead, my lord.
Well, you don't know that.
I mean, I don't, but...
Well, get a doctor anyways. Court is adjourned for today with immediate effect.
So, with Mr. Vigil's collapse, proceedings came to an abrupt end for the day.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer, appearing like a cursed ghost ship on a foggy ocean. Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Vigil, Kazuma, and Gregson. All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past. But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through the gloom and shine on those tragic events was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
To be continued? Oh yeah, to be continued.
It would be weird if there wasn't a to be continued after, like, you
That-
know, narration.
Uh-huh. No, it
And
just
then the
keeps
game
going.
just continues normal.
No, it just keeps going. The 2nd of November, 3:38 p.m., Sholmes' suite. I still can't quite believe what just happened.
I know. I inquired of the bailiff after the court session was adjourned. And it seems Mr. Fizzy was taken to the hospital to recover.
Oh, this track again. Right. 10 years ago now, Mr. Vigil attempted to commit suicide by jumping out of the window of the prison governor's office. But ever since then, he's completely blocked the memory of those events from his mind. Understandably! Nobody knew his secret. Not his family, not even the man himself. But I forced it out into the open. Was it wrong of me to do that? Did I overstep the mark, I wonder? Technically, it was Kazuma who kind of started that. Bruno! Oh, Iris.
You were miles away. Anyway, I brewed a fresh pot of soothing tea for you.
Oh, thank you.
You and Susie have had an exhausting day so far, haven't you?
Oh. Thank you, Iris. How thoughtful of you.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is? When we came out of the courtroom back into the defendant's antechamber, he disappeared.
Oh! No, I don't know. He just suddenly sprang to his feet and left. All he said was, I must leave.
I wonder if he's pursuing a mystery of Inspector Gregson's death.
Well, you know what Hurley's always saying, don't you? There are mysteries in this world that should perhaps never be solved. For the construction of the solution comes only at the expense of the destruction of something else.
What does that mean?
He knows very well that when you open someone else's old wounds, you often open your own too. But he just can't take his own advice and leave one alone. Solving mysteries is too important to him.
That's so true.
But that's what I like about Hurley, after all.
I suppose that's the lot of great detective in some ways.
So then, let's have tea, and then I'll give you a hand.
Oh, do you have time, Iris?
Yes, I finished this month's manuscript at last, with barely a day to spare before the deadline.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. A brand new story to read in the Adventures of Hernak Sholmes.
You know, I always hide Hurley's violin in the days before I have a deadline.
You do? Poor Mr. Sholmes.
His playing isn't that bad, is it?
Unless it's the wrong violin again.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure that's very wise, Iris. How sensible of you.
Now then, my dear fellows, let's make a plan of action before we continue our investigation.
Okay, Iris. Let's talk. Oh, great, it's gonna be the me show for a bit. Alright.
So, how did it go in the court this morning?
Well, we still don't know the truth about what really happened, but one thing's increasingly clear. Lord Van Zieks definitely didn't do it.
Oh, goody!
Yes, that's right. We managed to uncover several new facts as well.
Oh, really?
And there was another development too. Kazuma.
Yes, it's quite clear now. But Kazuma-sama is not himself. He needs a Snickers.
I can honestly go for one right now.
The way he's acting, it's almost as if he's possessed.
I know. I mean, at the end of the proceedings earlier, he was like a bloodhound the way he was chasing down Mr. Vigil's forgotten past. He's not normally so mercilessly persistent. What's going on in his head, I wonder? I really need to sit down with Kazuma and try to understand what he's going through. If Gregson was really murdered the day before his body was discovered, then Lord Van Zieks has to be innocent, you see?
Huh? The day before? Well, that should be easy enough to work out, just by examining the corpse, surely.
Yes, you would expect so. But curiously, no time of death was included on the autopsy report.
Huh. That is curious.
There are still unanswered questions about Lord Van Zieks, though, aren't there?
Ah, do you mean?
I mean, what was he doing there on Fresno Street that day in the first place?
Well, according to the man's testimony, he said he was investigating Inspector Gregson, didn't he?
And it turns out that little room was actually the inspector's secret office.
Oh, that sounds like it has all the makings of a wonderfully devilish plot.
But then, why was that notice board in there covered in all those particular papers? Papers about cases with a link to the Reaper. I'm starting to get a bad feeling about all this.
Oh dear, that sounds more like something horribly devilish.
We can start by looking through Inspector Gregson's movements as of late.
Okay, sure.
I was moving and grooving.
I never imagined I might have to be investigating an inspector's movements.
Well, according to the entry in his diary, he was carrying out an incognito investigation of the Red-Headed League the day before his death.
Oh, you mean he was doing the same as Hurley?
Well, Mr. Shones...
No, because he was actually succeeding.
Well, Mr. Shones was trying to apply, whereas the inspector was supposed to be investigating.
I do wish it had been the other way around.
Anyway, as it turns out, the inspector who went to investigate the Red-Headed League that day wasn't actually Gregson at all. It was Mr. Vigil, in possession of Gregson's identification.
Huh. You know what that sounds like to me? Establishing an alibi.
Oh my! Yes, you're absolutely right, Iris.
But why would Gregson need an alibi? Where the heck was Gregson going?
It would appear that the inspector
What is going on?
had something to do that he wished to keep secret.
I don't believe it. I always thought he was just a harmless lover of fish and chips.
Perhaps they were seasoned with something a little more potent than salt and vinegar. Rionosuke.
Like blood!
I mean, if you didn't say it, I was gonna say it.
Oh my god, it is Morbin time.
I think perhaps we should try to move away from food and allergies.
Well, anyway, if Lord Van Zieks felt the need to investigate Gregson,
Yes, I agree. We must try to find out what he knows.
Vigil, you say? Isn't that the name of the lady who came to visit Hurley yesterday?
That's right. To ask Mr. Sholmes, she would help her find her missing husband.
only Mr. Sholmes completely passed the buck to us. Actually, didn't you say that Mr. Vigil had been taken to hospital? Do you know which one?
Well, knowing Capcom, it's probably the exact same. Actually, is it the same one? I don't know.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's a different one.
Are
They
we
have
sure that?
they had the
Are
budget
you-
to get a new room model, Mr. Naruhodo.
Are you sure? Are
It's
you
Saint-
sure about that?
It's Saint Sinners.
That is a.
Okay,
That's a
and do
name.
you remember the name of the other hospital?
I hate that it's like at the tip of my tongue and I can't remember, but it's not Saint Sinners. I'm very sure it was
Are
called
you
something else.
sure about that?
I'm very it's John Cena. I'm very sure it was something. It was a different name. I'm very sure it was a different name.
The other one was St. Bartholomew.
There you
Was
go.
it actually?
Yep.
Okay, good. My memory is not that shoddy. But also Saint Sinners. I'm starting to wonder if all the other hospitals in London have closed down.
But that's amazing, Bruno! You found the lady's husband already!
Even he sounds like he's going to the same hospital. Like,
Well,
okay, where did Olive Green go? Hang on, Olive Green. What's her name? Is that her name?
yes,
Olive Green. I was gonna say like olive oil. I was like, that can't be it.
I'm really sure she was also Bartholomew.
Ace Attorney, Olive Green. Okay, Saint Bartholomew. All right.
See, I'm not going crazy, okay? Well, I suppose I have, by accident.
And 10 years ago, while Mr. Vigil was chief warder at the prison, he was responsible for overseeing the professor's incarceration.
No!
So when the convict escaped, he was held responsible and immediately dismissed.
Oh, sometimes I really don't want to grow up.
And there's more. For 10 years after that, while he is substantially working as a peddler, he also had another secret. He was paid by Gregson to be his stand-in, to impersonate the inspector.
To impersonate Gregsy? But why?
I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, Jenny was right. I'm starting to think all adults are up to no good now. Including you, Runo.
What? I haven't paid anyone to impersonate me.
Yet.
That means he has ties to the professor and to Inspector Gregson, though. So I do think we ought to pay a visit to Mr. Vigil, don't you?
Back to St. Sinners, then. What do you mean, back to St. Sinners? Did they change the name of this hospital and just not tell us? What do you mean,
I
back
don't-
to St. Sinners?
All right, I'm googling Saint Sinners.
Oh, this game. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. While you're doing that, I'm gonna keep reading to myself, I guess.
Well, I think it's clear that what we need to do, isn't it? Let us investigate, my dear fellows.
So remember the Skulkin brothers?
Yes. Did they
Yeah.
go there?
No, but Sholmes went there after they shot him.
Oh! Okay, cool. Alright, got it. That's... Okay.
Wait, that was Mario and Luigi, right?
Yes, that was,
Yeah, that was
the
Mario and Luigi.
from the first
Okay.
game. From the first game, case 5.
Oh, so I see how it is. We go to a different hospital when it's not close to the end of the game. But when it's close to the end of the game, it gotta go to St. Sinners.
Yeah, sure.
Yo, we have 2 hospitals. We have the not dramatic hospital, and then we have the dramatic hospital.
Got it.
Oh, Iris, you're even more enthusiastic than usual today.
If anyone has anything to hide, my special motion shooting iron will soon set them straight.
Your what?
That water pistol? That was a mouthful for me to read too, by the way.
It's stuff full of piping hot, extra special blend of mine.
Oh, okay.
And I'm quite sure it'll be very effective.
I better be careful not to hide anything. Well, it feels a little strange that Mr. Sholmes is nowhere to be seen, but still. Let's go and see what we can find out.
Yes.
Oh, perfectly timed! That sounded like it was actually timed correctly.
Hooray!
Let's go! We finally got something!
Lord Chief Justice Office. This has nothing to do with anything. Oh, okay, I guess cousins.
Meanwhile, Ryunosuke with 2 girls in both his arms right now? 2 ladies?
Iris is 10.
Ladies in each arm. Yes, there we go. 2nd of November, British Supreme Court. Lord
Wait,
Chief
Iris
Justice
is
Office.
10.
It's 5! You made that
No,
application, not me!
no. Is
Look!
No
it's-
arguments, Prosecutor Asogi.
Look.
I don't know what they're arguing about over there,
Okay,
but...
look. We gotta do the trope where the freaking protagonist lawyer has to have a girl sidekick every single time. Now we're just gonna have 2, okay?
No, that's not it. That's not it. They've been talking about 10 years ago. Iris is 10.
Yes.
Is that connected?
Maybe?
Okay.
Huh. Everything just happens in 10 years, huh?
You will continue with the trial exactly as I instructed. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
It's Kazuma-sama.
Excuse me, I'm in the middle of a meeting.
Defying Lord Strongheart, by the sound of it. Never did know when to back down.
You see what I have to put up with, Kazuma? Anyway, on your way now, Asogi.
My lord.
Cosmo, like, tired of your shit, man. Hi? Kazuma. Okay, bye.
Wait, Kazuma, I have to know, did you turn your headband into a ascot?
No.
He left without saying a word.
No, he said one word. He said no.
Yes? What are you doing here?
That's
Oh.
what I want to know.
Oh, well, I was just hoping to ask you a few questions, if you wouldn't mind.
I wanted Van Sieg's trial concluded today. But Prosecutor Asogi's unwelcome inquiries are going to make it take longer than necessary.
Unwelcome inquiries?
As a result, I'm losing even more precious time. Currently 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 41 seconds. 42. 43. 44.
Just 2 hours?
45. 46. 47.
Did we mention yourself anything before 30 hours have passed, Naruhodo?
50. 51.
In a miraculous not even 5 minutes?
54. 55.
Anyway, I can't let the man's obvious bad mood put me off. I need information.
And we're at 1. At 2.
Sir. We get it, you're going to be late. Does Prosecutor Sogi believe that Lord Van Zieks is the Reaper?
I wouldn't know. It was 10 years ago, in that fateful close trial, that Lord Van Seeks made a name for himself among the judiciary. But the next trial he fought, he lost. It meant the ringleader of a criminal organization was acquitted, thanks to all the jurors being under duress.
But that's awful.
Man's freedom was short-lived. He lasted just 3 days.
Yes, let me see. He died in a rock slide in his place of work, I believe.
Huh.
A rock slide? What the?
Just rock slide.
Rockslide. Correct. That was the inauguration of the Reaper of the Bailey.
And people believe Lord Van Zeeks was responsible?
He was brought back to trial. He was brought to trial himself, but it was shown to have been an accident.
So he must have had a solid alibi then.
Nevertheless, the mysterious deaths continued. In total, 16 persons perished in unusual circumstances, ostensibly at the hands of the Reaper. That's a long run of coincidences.
Well, the Reaper's tragedy may well be revealed by this trial.
And the impact that revelation would have on the British public cannot be understated.
Is that why it's a closed trial?
Precisely.
Okay. I guess we'll talk about the closed trial in the next video, because we are unfortunately a little bit out of time, sir. And you're already late, so don't worry about it.
He's gonna be more late. We're gonna make him wait now until next video.
We'll see you all then.
34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44,